In the Old Testament, the Israelites were commanded to give God their first fruits, the absolute very best of their harvest. They didn't go out into their field and pick what they wanted. No, they went out and they picked the best and they gave it to God. It was an act of trust and honor, a declaration that God, He came first before anything and everything else. But we see here in Malachi's time that the people had lost their heart of worship. They had stopped honoring God in a way that He was deserving. They saw worship as a duty rather than a delight. They saw worship as an obligation rather than an offering to bring to their King. And so here's the hard truth for us. When we give God our leftovers, when we don't give God our best, I think we're saying the exact same thing. See, when prayer is the thing that we squeeze in, if we have the time for it, we're saying that other things are more important than seeking Him. When worship is based on how we feel rather than who He is, we're making it about us instead of about Him. When we bring half-hearted faithfulness to God while giving the best of our energy and time to work and hobbies and entertainment, we reveal what we truly value most. And you see, God, He doesn't need our worship. He's not insecure. He's not waiting for us to validate Him, but we need to worship Him. Because what happens here is it aligns our hearts with the truth that He is worthy, He is who we need, and He is who we are depending on. And here's the thing, we often think of worship as something that happens in a church service. But in reality, true worship happens in almost the smallest, most unseen moments of our lives. Worship is how you treat that barista who messed up your coffee order. Worship is choosing to have patience and grace when your child is pushing absolutely every single one of your buttons. Worship is integrity when no one else is watching. Worship is choosing to set your phone down to be fully present with God and with His church and others. You see, Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians 10:31, whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. That means worship isn't an event. It's not a moment. It's a way of life. It's every moment, every choice, every word. It can be an offering of worship when we do it for Him. See, King David, he once said, I will not offer to the Lord my God that which cost me nothing, in 2 Samuel 24, verse 24. That kind of worship, costly, sacrificial, wholehearted, that's what God desires and that's what He's worthy of. And so true worship is going to cost us something. It may cost us time where we're waking up early to seek God before the day drowns us in distractions and busyness. It may cost us comfort where we're choosing to obey even when it's inconvenient. It may cost us control where we surrender our plans and follow His. See, honestly, worship that costs us nothing is probably worth nothing. But worship that costs us something, worship that costs us something that's given freely with joy and reverence, and that's a gift that honors the one who deserves it all. And so what if, instead of giving God our leftovers, we gave Him our first and best? What if the first moments of our day were spent turning to Him before turning to our phones and life? What if the first devotion of our hearts was seeking Him before success, before money, approval, or the things of this world? What if the best of our love was honoring Him, not just in church on Sunday, but in every single interaction of our lives? You see, Malachi chapter 1, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that God is not a distant figure to be tossed scraps of our attention. He's a great King, and He knows that He's worthy of worship that is full, fresh, and straight from the heart. And so today, let's choose to give God nothing less than our best.